Hello, welcome to the greatest podcast of all time. I mean, all time, because it's my great podcast. I mean, if you understand my accent, and if you don't understand my accent, well, it's still the greatest. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year. I'm going live. I don't like my frame. I should fix it. I will fix it. But anybody joins my live, I want to talk to people, but I don't know how to do it, so I can't talk right now. If I don't talk, don't get mad at me. Let me go do something real quick. I want to move my camera a little bit. There, I'm back. I'm back. Can you see me? Am I gone? Okay, I'm back. Podcast is on. Happy New Year, guys. How are you guys doing? Good. I know I've been gone for a while, 2 weeks. I'm just like hibernating. I have had like, I think last 2 years, I'm not happy, man. But I'm very, very excited for 26. I'll tell you why. Because love him or hate him, Trump is ending all the wars, man. That's what I'm thinking. He loves his FIFA award and he got the FIFA award. Now he got to live up to it, which means, and he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Peace Prize. That's what he wants, and which means he's going to end up all the wars. And if there is one person that can end all the wars in this world, is him, unless he starts new ones. But who knows, dude? 2026, a lot of great things happening around the world. Iran is changing. Wow, I never thought I would see that. I hope they will, they'll be liberal. I like liberal people, liberal countries. That's my favorite. Anybody in my life I can talk to, dude? I would love to talk. Host, producer, guest. Okay. Oh, no, this is Whisper Backstage, man. Nobody joined my thing. If you guys join and you can see me, let me know. I would love to see you guys. Am I live? Yeah, can you guys see me now? I am live. I don't have anybody on, but Happy New Year. I literally slept last 2 days. My friends, I started sending them messages today. I'm like, yo, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And my friends are like, dude, it's been 2 days. And I really want to start this 2026 peacefully. I don't care. I know the world can go fight themselves. I know I just said he's ending all the wars, but yeah, but at this point, if they're still fighting in 2026, they are they're slow people. I don't know what's the word. Like, what do you tell people that are like dumb? Like, you can't call people dumb anymore. You can't use the R word. You can't, you know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, the people they use R word for is actually smarter people. At least they are not like violent. Like we are violent. We are nuts. But anyways, I've had enough of it. Online hate, Indian hate, Bangladeshi hate, and Hindu Muslim hate, and all sorts of hates. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap. So that's what I did. Oh wow, I got a lot of people joining. Thanks, guys. Can you guys see me? Am I okay? Anyways, I'm happy you guys are joining. Now I can see call dumb people silly or dundle heads. Dundee head. Yeah, I like that. Dundee head. I'll do that. Comedians, strange food. Oh, yo, bro, thanks for joining, guys. Yes, I can see you. Thank you, Betty. I got this. I got this thing. This setup. I'm like, I want to shoot my thing live, so I'm doing. I mean, my thing live. That sounds bad. My live. My podcast live. That way it'll be kind of fun. I want to. Let me see if I can. Bro, I could. If I could only like get this thing over there. How do I do this? Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to figure this out. I know I'm an Indian guy. I got to figure this IT stuff, but I'll be there, okay? Just bear with me. I'm almost there. I just want to be able to see people, but it looks like I'm looking at the computer. At the camera. So there I go. Okay. Thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, 2026, Happy New Year. I'm super happy about that. I am putting all my past behind. Last 2 years have been really hard for me. The thing is, like, the day I thought would be my best, like, okay, like 2023, let's say like August, September, I was pretty low. I was like, man, I've been writing jokes. I'm struggling to get like stage time, and I've been like hang out at the clubs, no auditions, nobody. It's just like it just feel like okay, I don't care anymore. And then when I literally decided I don't care anymore, I was posting my stuff. I always post my comedy, and I was posting my stuff, and one of my jokes, the one about my wife and I fighting, the hypothetical fight, Bill Burr took it and posted it on his story. I woke up, my Instagram just blew up. Like people were like just messaging me like, "Yo, I saw your bit on Instagram," and literally like one day I had like 600 followers. It was crazy. I'm like, "What's going on?" And then that day, Godfrey calls me and he goes like, "Yo, guess what? Like, who called me?" And I was like, "Who called you?" And he's like, "ST called me and she asked me about you." And I was like, "ST called you and asked you about her, about me?" And he's like, "Yeah." And guys, you gotta understand, like, I haven't passed at many clubs in New York City by this time. Like, I was doing like Comedy Village and Broadway, and I love Broadway. Broadway has been fair with me since the beginning, and I love that I think they were pissed off at me for a little bit, but now I'm back on track, and I'm happy about that. So going back, I'm like starving for stage time, and here Godfrey says like, guess what? ST called me. And I was like, yes. I like, what about? And he's like, well, here is the thing. Like, Bill Burr shared your clip, and she saw it, and she asked me who you are, and I told her that I recommended you, and she didn't respond, and then he said, she said you could. She told me you can come for audition next Saturday or the Saturday after. I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, I would love to go. I mean, dude, like, this is like my dream come true. And the thing is, when the opportunity kicks you, you got to turn around and grab the balls, right? So I'm like, that's what I did. I'm like, you know what? She gave me next Saturday or the Saturday after. And I'm like, I'll take the closest Saturday because I want this to happen right away. So I go there to the audition. And what I know about what I read, what I researched was that ST don't really listen to your entire set. She would listen to like 30 seconds of it. And then she kind of estimates, who you are. And then she'll go and then she'll decide if you pass or not. That was the process. So I was only expecting ST to be there for 30 seconds. And I'm not bragging, guys. Like, well, maybe a little bit. Okay. When I said, like, my first bit is like, if you can't tell by my accent, I am from New Jersey. The minute I said it, ST laughed. Okay. And this, I heard that, like, never happens. So ST doesn't laugh, especially during audition. But not only did she laugh, she stayed for my entire 5 minutes. As I walk out, she was literally walking out laughing, and I kind of knew I passed. Okay, that was the best day of my life. But that was also October 7th, 2023. As I was auditioning, there was a murder mayhem happening in Israel where 2,000 people died. I didn't know about this. Okay, I finished my audition. I came out. I partied with I had a few drinks with my friends. Chase was there. Chase was celebrating his birthday, and I went there, and then I got in trouble because I hugged this comedian, and Chase was going around with the phone, and my wife saw that, and she was like, I literally just hugged her to say like, she said congratulations, and I hugged her, and my wife got upset because she was like, hey, you passed at Cellar and you didn't even come home, and celebrate. And I agree, I should have gone home and celebrated with my wife because she's always been there for me. She's the one who kind of pushed me to do comedy, so it was my bad, and so she was upset. I go home, I woke up, and I found out what happened in Israel. And then the war started, and just the hate started. Everyone was just hating on each other. And I did like three spots and at a cellar, and like a dumbass, I went over time. Um, it's just I didn't see the light. The light I thought would face me, but it actually faces the person who's lighting you. So when they come and stand under the light, then you know you got lit. I didn't know this. I mean, I should have known this. So I went over time, not just once, like I went three times. So, last 3 years, I'm like, I pissed off seller, and there is so much hate, and I was getting bitter, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know, my comedy was affecting, and I just didn't have a good 2 years. But I'm so happy now, at least some of the war stopped. And, it was just the TV was horrible. Man, I hated last 2 years, I'm telling you. Um, even now, I'm just going to like tune out. I'm going to be cool. That's why I slept for 2 days. 31st night, I did my show. I came home, I slept. All day first, second, today I slept. I was like, now it's like 3 a.m. or something, and I'm like, I'm going to do my podcast. And I was wishing my friends, and they're like, dude, this is 2 days. It's been 2 days. And I'm like, I know, I've been sleeping. I want to start this year peacefully. Happy New Year, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Fugosel. Thank you. Wow, cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys joining my live. So, anyways, did you guys have good Christmas, good Hanukkah, good holidays? I mean, I love this season, man. I still like it. I like it until Martin. I think the holiday season is officially from. It should be from the week before Christmas, but for some reason, everybody is being greedy, and then they're not giving you off until like the 23rd. Like, dude, what the heck? Like my kid's school ended on like 23rd, half day. I'm like, dude, in India, we're not even Christians, and we get 10 days off for Christmas. Like, from the 20th till the 2nd, it's off. And it's not even a Christian country. I mean, America is also a secular country, but come on. There are more Christians here. You got to give us more holidays. What the heck? Anyways, for me, like 20th, December 20th, bro, thank you. Sending you many blessings from South Texas. Same here, bro. Sending you many blessings from New Jersey. Appreciate it, bro. Happy New Year, Anna George. That's a cool name. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Yeah, I think the holidays should be till like October 20th till like January 15th. That's how it is in India. Like you get Christmas, you get New Year's, and then you get Sankranti, which is like our what do you call harvest festival. India is agricultural country, so we get 3 days off for that, like 14, 15, and 16. And when I moved to America, I'm so glad they have MLK Jr. birthday here, because now you get a long weekend. So our Sankranti falls on the same time. So it's like it didn't change, which I kind of like. So the holiday season is not over. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. That is my entire podcast, today's podcast deal. Okay, holiday season is ends the Monday after. No, Monday is the MLK Junior birthday, so it would be the day after. So I think this year it's 19th, so it would be the 20th. So until like 20th of January, it's still holidays. Bro, Annette George said, shit, I wish I had 3 days. Bro, one thing I miss about India is the holidays, man. We got so many festivals. Like every month there is a festival. And if there is, in case we don't have a Hindu festival, there's a Muslim festival. There's Eid, and the whole month of Ramjan is fun because everybody comes out, like the entire Muslim neighborhoods, they come out in the evenings, and they'll have like Eid dinners, evening, iftar, I think, iftar. I don't know what I forgot, but basically in the evening you can go and eat like some really good food. So, and then you got like every month we got festivals. So it's I kind of miss that. But to compensate in America, you get Saturday and Sunday off. That didn't start in India until like recently, like 2000. So, anyways, so this is 2026. I'm not going to react to hate. That was my problem. I was reacting to hate. And one thing I never understood is like, you know, I haven't seen this happen to other comedians, or maybe it happens. Like, I make a joke, people come at me saying like, "Hey, you guys have a caste system, and how can you make a joke?" But what they don't understand is like, dude, that is in the past. Since we got 1947, I when I moved to America, I was like, there is no reason for us to hate. Like, we never had slavery. We were oppressed for 800 years. And when we got our freedom, it's like 1947, our constitution is written by a Dalit. Like, literally, Gandhi is like made sure a Dalit, wrote our constitution. And, so, and you look at like right now, like people in America denying racism and denying slavery, I mean, to an extent. And even in America, like until 1967, I mean, America is the liberal headquarters. And until 1967, you guys were treating black people as three-fourths. And in India, in 1947, our constitution is written by a Dalit. That's like having a black man write your constitution in 1776. So, and then I get this hate, people telling me we are racist. I'm like, bro, I'm from South India. I was the victim. I get hated on for my color. I get hated on for my religion, because for some reason, some of these people are nuts about their religion. And if you don't believe in their God, you're going to hell, and they could do whatever they want to do with you. And that means lie and cheat. And that pisses me off. When people lie and cheat, it pisses me off. But that means I can't lie and cheat. I have trouble lying, man. My parents, like, how when you're a kid, does this happen to you guys? Like my parents, if I ever lie when I was a kid, like 4 or 5, my mom or dad, like my aunts, uncles, everybody like, Vishnu lied? What? How could you lie, Vishnu? Like, we never thought of you that kind of person. So for me, it's like, oh, I never lie. So, but the thing is, just like any other Indian family, my mom's side and dad's side don't get along, and they both want to pump me for information, and their weapon is Vishnu don't lie, which means I don't lie. So I tell them exactly what the other side said. And then next thing they know, I'm Telugu. Betty Confetti asked me, "You're from South India, are you Tamil?" I'm Telugu. So going back to the story, my dad would, I would just tell them, I didn't know what the heck is going on. They asked me, like, what did your mom say about me? And I'll tell my grandma, like, my mom said you are blah, 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 blah. And then my mom would be like, what did your grandma say? And I'll tell her, like, well, she asked me what you said, and then this is what she said. And then next thing I know, my mom and grandma are at each other's throats, and my dad would be like, you're like Narad. And I'm like, who is Narad? So Narad is this character in Mahabharata, in Indian, all the stories he pops up. This guy has access to all the worlds, and all he does is like just go, he just keeps saying Narayan, 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 and he just travels all the, all the different worlds or realms, and wherever he goes, he tells the truth, like what he heard, which is like what other people are saying about them, and he eventually starts a war between them. And wherever he goes, he just starts a fight. And he also loves to watch other people fight. That's his entertainment. And and my dad started calling me Narad, because I'm literally starting fights every time I go see my grandma and then come back and to my parents' place. And I was going to school, living with my grandparents. My dad was working in this like remote tribal area where there are like no schools, and then I would go home for like summer, and it's so much fun. I used to go swimming, and there's like a lake. We lived in a place called Kambam, which is so much fun because they had a lake, and the lake had like water canals to the agricultural fields. So When we first moved there, that year the water wasn't like summer was hot and we didn't have any water, so all those canals were dry. But then I went for the winter break. Oh my God, I didn't even know how to swim, but nobody could stop me. I literally learned swimming because okay, we went out of town. We went to the beginning of the town. Like that's where my dad told me, like, okay, if you're going to go jump in the water, like don't jump in the water as it comes to the town because, people would like, all sorts of stuff would like, the water gets contaminated. People will be like washing clothes, on the sides, some places, and because it's going agriculture, like nobody cared. And he's like, if you're going to swim, like at least go before the village and swim. So we would go. There is this like before from the between the lake and the village, there are all these like the canal, and there is a bridge that collapsed. So one side is like 4 feet or 3 feet because of all this like collapse stuff, and the other side is like 9 feet. And so I was only jumping into the 3 foot. Like all I was doing is like jump into the 3 feet and then like run back up and then jump again. Happy Space Monkey, Happy New Year, all. What are we discussing? I'm just telling random stories, bro. There's a lag, but I'm ahead, but stay with me. Um, so yeah, so what I did was there was this other kid. He was like butt maker, and he's standing on the 9 foot side. He's about to dive, and the kids that are jumping in the 9 feet are like, this is my third grade, and 9 feet would like dive, and then I was just jumping because 3 feet, so I just pushed him as I was walking up. But then when he went into the water, I couldn't see him because there are a lot of other kids like jumping and playing. So I was kind of worried for him. Like, did I push this guy into water, and does he belong on the other side and not here? So I was kind of looking around for him, and I couldn't find him. And by the time I realized, this guy came around and pushed me in. And this is 9 foot water. I never been there. And just started like, I was like, I got to calm down. I got to calm down. Because people told me, like, if you fall in the water, like, don't like panic and start like, you know, splashing because you're going to go sink. Instead, like, take a, you know, like relax and like make like deliberate movements to move forward, and it will help you. And they told me how to swim. It's like I just never did it. And then I was trying to swim, and then someone helped me come out. And but that's when I really realized, okay, I can swim. So that was a fun town. I was there in Kambam, and then my dad moved to like this other place called Dornala, which is like right next to Nalamalai Forest. And there is like no school. And one summer I was there, I was literally going into the forest, like hunting for like with what do you call slingshots, hunting for like oil crow. Like they're oily, but they're like crows. And my dad is like, no, he's not going to be here. He got to be studying with his, because my grandparents usually, like, in my usually the way it works with all my friends is like their grandparents are in the village, and their parents are in the town. But for me, it's in reverse. Like, my dad is in the village, and my grandparents are in the town, because my grandparents wanted his kids, like both his daughters and my dad. My grandparents have 3 kids, so they wanted them to go to good schools and like become something. So he sold all his land and he moved to the big town. And he basically, he lost. He tried to do some business, and he just didn't know how to tackle the town people, who kind of cheated him, and he lost his money. But he got his kids to study. My grandfather. So his only goal was like, I got to send my son to America, and he would make some money, and we'll be fine. That was my grandfather's plan. But my dad is like, no, I got to serve my people. And he took a job with Indian government, and they stationed him in this like forest area with Naxalites. And Naxalites are like Maoists, like they're like communists. And there's like a small like revolution kind of thing going on. with the Maoists, and they would be in the forest. So my grandfather hated that, and he used to always tell me like, somehow convince your dad to give up that job and go to America. And I didn't mean to convince him, but my seventh grade I barely passed, and that is when like basically in India like I'm considered upper caste, even though I would be, because after British, like the feudal, like my ancestors would be feudals. Like my ancestors got the money because British like combined people's lands, and like the few the people that were collecting tax for the kings before became the middlemen for British and the farmers gave up farming because it's not profitable for them, because British were like charging 80% tax, so they would give up their land. So these feudal communities, these tax collectors, became feudal lords. And I don't know too much about my history, but I know we were part of that because my grandparents actually have land that which he sold and lost it. So I'm pretty sure like I didn't see any of it, but I know it was there. Like that's why when people say, "Oh, Brahmins are putting India down," like recently I saw this one video by Arundhati Rai. Arundhati Rai is very respected writer in India. I'll post the video. Um, and you would think like I mean she's respected because she wrote a couple of boring novels which I would never read because they're so freaking boring. I tried, but anyways, like the problem with India is our enemies are like internal. Like this guy Mehdi, I think he's one of the journalists from CNN, and he asked her a very deliberate question. He was like, "Okay, Indians used to be pro-Palestine until 70s and 80s, and then what happened? Why did Indians switch over to Israel?" And there is a very clear-cut answer for that. But she chose to throw India under the bus, and her answer was Brahmins in India think they are chosen people, so they identified with Israelis, you know, and that's how they decided they're going to support Israel, which is like the dumbest thing I ever heard, because that's not the reason. I'll tell you what is the reason. It was like, first of all, Brahmins don't like, I don't know why Western people, like, how many times you tell them they don't get it. Like, Brahmins might have ruled India before British came, but after British came, when the kings were there, they used to treat Brahmins, who are the educators and priests, with a good like level. They used to give them a lot of money, so they had power, and some of them were corrupt and whatever. But when the British came, the people that came into power are like my family, who used to be the tax collectors for the kings. Now we are collecting the taxes, which are like preposterously too much, like 80%. And a lot of these farmers who used to have like small bits of land and some cattle and they were good, now they gave up their lands, and these guys became de facto landlords. And once British left, we the people that are ruling India right now are these feudal lords. Like if you go, I'll put a list of India like step by step, like each state, and you can look at them. Most of them are these feudal lords. Like in the north, you have Jats, and in my state, it's like Kammas and Reddys, and all these people would be considered Sudras before, or like Sudras, which is like the fourth tier, but now they are in power. So this whole Brahmins thought they're like, that's bullshit, because Brahmins are not even in power. And even if they are in power, back then they were 20% of the population. There are not too many of them. But these people are not like that. These people are rich from the money they made from British. But the reason India turned more pro-Israel since the 70s is not because people in India suddenly became racist. It's because of the stuff that was happening in Kashmir since 80s. Once the Afghanistan war ended, Pakistan created soldiers and to fight communists to work for Americans. And once they did it, and they did it by introducing extreme Wahhabi religious, um, you know, material into their madrasas. Madrasas are literally just Islamic schools where they teach their books and their knowledge. They're just schools. But these guys purposefully made them violent. Like they added this curriculum. That's why you see in Pakistan and Bangladesh, which are like they were not even like the original Islamic countries. They have blasphemy laws, and if you read Quran literally says, leave the judgment to God. Quran doesn't tell people to punish someone because it's not your job. But they have blasphemy laws in their constitution. They declared themselves Islamic countries and they have blasphemy laws. That is not something that came from like actual Islam. This is like deviant. Because what they did, Americans literally introduced this to them. And since the Afghanistan war ended, these guys have nothing else to do, and their focus turned to India because we are the infidels, we are the kafirs, and we were getting attacked. And all of a sudden, the sentiment in public changed. Even now, you go to like my town, Kambam, is like 50-50, Hindus and Muslims. We celebrated we still celebrate all our festivals. Like you go there, the theaters, like my dad is a doctor. My friends Rahim, Rafi, Salim, man, I forgot his other name. It's been a minute, I haven't been there. I think Qayyum, and Idris. Like these are all my friends I grew up with, and we are still friends. When I went there, I went to their theater, and I hung out with them. Like there is no animosity between Hindus and Muslims, especially in South India, where I come from. Maybe North India, it's worse. I don't know, but where I come from, that's why I'm like. But this hate toward like Pakistan and now toward Bangladesh and India started, and this anti-Islam, Muslim sentiment started because of this. Because since 80s, India was under attack by extremists. And instead of giving a proper answer, which is the truth, because now people in India are being and that's the reason Modi came into power. Modi wouldn't, like for 60 years, Congress was ruling, which is a liberal government, which is about secularism, and India is a secular country even now. And now these guys are like, no, we should make it a Hindu country. That is the extreme Hindu position, which I don't think will ever happen, because Indians are not like that. But that sentiment, that we're not going to support Palestine, because if we support Palestine and if Palestine becomes free, now they're going to come after us, because then once they get rid of Jews there, they will come after us. That is the sentiment in India, and that is the reason a lot of Indian people supported, Jewish Israel, because they're like, holy fuck, like if they lose, they're going to come after us. And that sentiment was not there before 80s, because before that, we didn't have this extremism. And that is literally the answer. But she just threw India under the bus, like, oh, we have the caste system and Brahmins believe they're superior. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like the caste system that you're talking about is dead by the time British came, like during the British time. The caste system now, you have, like before British came, there are like 4 castes. And then after British left, there are 1,600 castes. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to get into this hate shit anymore. I just wanted to answer that. I think I lost everybody. Dude, is there anybody there? Let me check. How many people are there in my live? 4 people. Shit, I lost everybody. I deserve that. Also, it's like 1 a.m., so maybe not. Okay. I'm not Pampocha. How people draw these parallels always baffles me. I don't know the context of what, I know you're responding to what I said, but I don't know the context of it. Give me a little bit more context, bro. I'll respond. And anyways, going back to it. But now I'm going to be Mr. Peaceful, because I realize people got, dude, you have access to Gemini and ChatGPT. You can do your own research. I don't have to sit here and like preach. That's not my job. I just want to be funny because that's what I enjoy. And last year I was not enjoying, but this year I am going to. Oh yeah, half pump pocha in context to Hindus thinking about the Jews, bro. We are what we are fed. Okay, the the media was feeding us like, okay, these guys are extreme and they're trying to kill us all. They want to get rid of us because we don't believe in their God. And oh yeah, I mean bro. Once you see like what December 26th, like when they attacked Bombay and Hyderabad, like innocent people got killed, and then you got like bombings in like Hyderabad. Sorry, yeah, like you see these like terror. Like I think the terrorism too, like they were being used by, I don't know who is making that happen, but they were using to push the people's sentiment, because every time something happens, like recently Pahalgam happened, like these guys came and they asked people like who's Hindus and who's Muslims, and shot all the Hindus. Like I mean, they made like all the men in front of their wives. That's where the Operation Sindoor happened. Like that kind of shit didn't happen like in before 70s and 80s. And that is, I mean, but anyways, yeah, it's you. I mean, the thing is, like, people that actually, I have a lot of Muslim friends, like, the Quran literally says, like, leave the judgment to God. That is in there. There is no reason for people to like have to convert me and tell me how I should live my life, because it's none of their business. I believe in what I believe, and let them believe in what they believe. I don't believe in judgment. I just believe in karma. But if someone believes in judgment, and if I'm wrong, and God is like, you didn't become Muslim and I'm going to put you in hell, I'd be like, God, you didn't tell me. You should have told me if you wanted me to be Muslim. Why would you make me be born in a Hindu and then you tell me, oh, you didn't become a Muslim and now I'm going to put in hell? I'm going to fight with God. I'll get a good liar and I'll argue with him. All right, that's going to be, dude, I'm not going to give up. That's one thing. I can't stand injustice, okay? If it's God is like, oh, I'm going to send you to hell because you didn't find me. I'm like, well, you should have made me born in the faith that is right. If you want me to find you, and you can't punish me for that. Anyways, but breathe easy. It was good. I was supposed to go see my parents. I was looking forward to that, but I couldn't because of personal reasons, and I didn't have any shows last 10 days. I was just kind of sitting at home sulking. Um, and then my friend Mike Harrison, he invited me to come open for him in Comedy Zone. I had so much fun, man. I killed it. We had like the first day when it was a storm, so I thought the show would get canceled, but it didn't. There were about like 30 people, and I did about half an hour. I had fun. I did about 25 minutes, and then second day I did about 25 minutes. No, I did half an hour both days, and I had a blast, bro. Thank you, Mike. Oh, thanks for being half pump mocha says thanks for taking the time to step on here, bro. Thank you for joining my live, bro. I appreciate that. Um, and then yeah, Comedy Zone, bro. I had so much fun, but the night the storm happened, I got locked out in the lobby. This kind of shit always happens to me. I don't know why. They gave me the card, and those hotel cards, they I don't know why they still use these magnetic cards, dude. I got a phone, I got a wallet that's magnet, I got my everything is magnet now. And she gives me the key and she goes, keep it away from your phone. Okay, I'm like, okay, I keep it away from my phone and I put it in my other pocket where my wallet is. The Moody artist says, hi Anna, India Vichinampu Kalavali, which means, brother, I want to meet you when you come to India. Definitely, brother, hit me up. I would love to meet. I love traveling in India. It was so much fun when I was there. Okay, I put the plastic key in my pocket with the with my wallet, and I guess because it has the magnet thing, that didn't work. Like as soon as I walked to my room to open the door, and it didn't work, and that's pisses me off. It when that happens, now I got to go back. So I go back, get the key again, and this time I'm like extra careful. I didn't even put it next to any of them. I put it in my the pullover you put right in the middle. I did that, and once I got in the room, I put all my stuff in there, and I came out, and I went to get something to eat. I came back, the key didn't work. So now the lady at the front, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to get the owner. I think there might be something wrong with the lock. And the owner came and he's like, there is something wrong with the lock. I'm going to put you in the room next door. So I was like, okay. And I go to the next door, and it's like literally next door. I put all my stuff. I go and do my set because it's like time to go do my. It's like the hotel is like the club and the hotel are like pretty much attached. So I go do my set. We come back. My key worked. I go in there, and me and Mike, we had some drinks. Mike Harrison, he was the headliner. He's the headliner, and we hung out. We drank. We talked. We just comedy, talk like the industry talk, whatever. Um, and then I walked out to send off Mike, and then Mike went to his room, and then I turn around and my door is locked, and my key wouldn't work, and my phone is inside the hotel room, and I try to go to the lobby, and the door to the lobby is locked. I guess they lock it in the middle, like at 1 a.m. or something, because they don't want drunk people coming this side. So to go to the main lobby, I have to step out of the hotel into the cold and go around the building to the main entrance, hoping there will be someone. But I don't know if there will be someone or not. And if there is nobody, now I'll be locked out of the hotel too, and I don't even have a jacket, and my phone is in the room, which means I can't even get into my car. So I'm like, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm just going to stay in the lobby until someone finds me. And I waited, and to my luck, the room I left earlier, when I was leaving, maybe it's my sixth sense, like, like that's what happens always. Like there's always something that helps me out when shit goes wrong. Like God is looking out for me. And that door was open, like just a little ajar. And I'm like, okay, I go in there, I turn on the TV. There was what was Friends was playing, and I just passed out on that bed. And in the morning there was some maintenance guy. I could hear like some like saw going in the next room. I woke up and I went up to him. I was like, dude, I got locked out. And he called somebody, and they came and opened the door. And I'm like, this kind of shit happens to me all the time. But anyways, the next night I had a great set. And then once we're done, Mike was like, dude, we can stay here and leave tomorrow, or you want to leave today? And I'm like, bro, I have no energy to get locked out in that lobby again like an idiot. I'm going home. So we drove back home. And last night I did 31st night at Catch. That was fun. I love working with Gerald. He's one of the best comedians I know. We had so much fun. And then now, today, that's all I remember. After that, I came home, I slept and I slept and I slept like a baby. I'm back. 2026. I slept in 2025. I woke up in 2026. A whole year passed. Anybody want to talk about anything, bro? Yeah, that's all. What else did I do? I hung out with my kids. I took my son to, my older kid. He was so much into cars. He was never into teddy bears, and I wanted to take him to build a bear, but he was like, "Why would I want to build a bear? Buy me a car." So I never got to take him to build a bear. But my younger one, the 6-year-old, he was like, he's into teddies. So I was like, dude, I'll take you to build a bear, and took him there. I got him a what is going on here? Okay, I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, so I got him. Okay, the thing is that, dude, that's a good business. Build a bear. If my comedy thing doesn't work, I'll try to start that business because there's a lot of hidden money you can make. Like the first one, he made a unicorn, and then there is um, you can record whatever the voice you want, and he got some song, I think popular from Wicked, and then he got the Saint, and he got you know he got the he got some lighted heart, like it lights up, and each is like 750, and then he's like, I want to buy I want to buy some clothes for this. I'm like, dude, no. And those clothes are like 3 month old. So I'm like, how about this? Like the 3 month baby clothes, I can get them on sale, and here they're like $30, $20. I think like $12 to $20, depending on how many accessories. Each accessory is like $12. So I'm like, I'll just buy you like some baby clothes if you want. And then he goes, you know what? I don't want. They don't like this. Can I get something else? And I was like, dude, you can't change your mind like that. They already made it. And the lady that's working there, she's like, you know what? Like, actually, we don't mind taking them back. It's not a big deal for us because it's just a stitch, and we can just redo that. And I was like, really? Like, you would do that for me? And she's like, yeah. I mean, kids always change their mind. Not a big deal. So I was like, thank you so much. And then now I'm like, okay, now you pick it. And he's like, okay, I'm going to get both the girls from the on the Wicked, like the Glenda and what's her other name? I don't know. He's like, he got like I told him like, dude, like get two bears, like, and he got like the green bear and a pink bear. They're like, he's like, they both are the actresses from Wicked. I don't know who the names are. Like I think one is Glenda and the other is Wicked Witch of the West, but I forgot her name. But anyways, um, he got those. I was like, he got one. He was like, what do I want to get? I was like, listen, like, how about this? They have like buy one and get one for $15. So get the second one too, and that way, like, I don't have to feel bad for giving that back. Um, and yeah, so he was happy. He could get two because I was like, dude, just get two because we they're kind enough to take one back, so I'll just buy one more. But I still didn't want to pay for the accessories, dude. Accessories are bullshit. And I told him like no light up parts, no scented thing because those scents don't last anyways. Just get the voice thing and get it packed and get your bears. And he got both his bears, and I'm looking for clothes for them, like 3-month old clothes. I think my wife has said she'll take care of it, so I'm off the hook. Um, oh yeah, Brown Bart says my nephew is into cars too. We are thinking about going to a car show. Yeah, bro. Like I took my kid to he was totally into Cars movies. Like when he is born, like Cars movies are the thing, and when my second kid is born, like Snow White and not Snow White, like what's the like the who are those people like Frozen, and like all these other shows are like the ones. So he's more into those. I guess like is they're manipulated by the media too, because my older kid is all about cars, and we took him to Disney. We went in LA. They have Disney car thing. So when we went to LA like for some like my wife's conference, and she had some conference, so I was like babysitting, and I was like, let's go there. And but bad luck is the day we went, the ride was not working. The Disney Cars ride, that's a bummer. So if you likes bro, like take him to Disney California. They don't have that ride in Florida. I wish they do. And by the time I was like, I was kind of bummed because you don't go to California every day, and by the time we got an opportunity to go back, he's already like we were like too big for the cars, I think. So maybe I'll take them next time. I don't know. But he's like too old now. He still likes cars. Now he wants to like fix my car. And he kind of like bummed out that the electric cars, like he was like he likes that old like motor engine and like all those things. So I think he's going to. I'm going to teach him to be a mechanic. The future with the AI, man, like if they're going to automate everything they can, but the only thing they cannot automate is the touch. Let me see. Can you see my hand? Yeah, the touch. Like like there are like so many nerves here, and based on how you how like the different levels of touching, that you can never. They're having such a hard time mimicking that. They can have a robot do things, but like to do like fine things or like and also it's so hard to program like robots to think and identify problems. I'm sure you could, but anyways, like I think we're several years before a robot would like drive up to your house and come and fix your plumbing and your car or stuff like that. So, and he loves cars, so I'm like, dude, I'm gonna, yeah, yeah. Brown Bart says human touch is impossible to replicate. Elon is working on it and still can't figure it out. Yeah, and I read that he doesn't want to use the cameras. Like this guy is like diabolical. Like for the cars, he refused to use lidar, which apparently is better in terms of like figuring out the obstacles. But he's like, it's too expensive. We're going to rely um, on you know rely on cameras. But the cameras, the shadows throw them off. That's why you can't trust the cars that much, because when they see a shadow, sometimes they think there's an object there and they sudden brake. So that's a problem with Teslas. But when it comes to robots, they're like the only thing the best way to address the problem is use cameras, and he doesn't want to use cameras. But anyways, robots can do comedy, great for brainstorming too, bro. I know. But the thing is, like I tried to ask even like ChatGPT, like, yo, tell me something interesting happened today, and the things they pick are like just dumb. I'm sure like they like okay. I think ChatGPT and these things are useful to as an assistant, but not as a performer. So, for example, like I have a script, and I don't have time to actually like format it into a proper script. I think that AI can do for me. I'm like, hey, this is the script. Can you help me write dialogues for it? And then you go through the dialogues and fix the dialogues. But you still have to fix them, because the ones that thing generates are just plain rubbish. They're not like, they're very, I mean, because they're going by the data, so they're very like run of the mill dialogues. So I would never like, you can have a lot of mediocre works made by AI, but then the things people will identify that are like done by a proper artist. So either you're really good with what you do, like exceptionally good, or you're doing one of these like skill jobs where you work with your hands, and or you just take your universal basic income and chill at home, eat less, exercise, take a nap, watch TV. That's the future. I think that's the reason they're also starting all these wars, because they're trying to reduce the number of people so they don't have to give as much UBI. So my advice to people is, if they start a war, don't send your kids to the war. Like, see what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. Like, they're literally wiping out the men population there. And they're doing it for themselves. They kind of convinced them to do it. And now I think they're trying to do it in subcontinent. They're trying to get India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh to fight with each other and get rid of people. And telling you guys, I know you all feel like very attached to your religion and you're scared, but like, don't fall for the trap. India did fine, you know, even during the Mughals rulers, Indians did fine. There is some like jizya tax or whatever we got to pay, but still, like, I mean, if the other side don't, like, you guys shouldn't fight. That's all I'm saying. Don't fight. Just enjoy. Take your universal basic income and chill out. Watch TV. Like people that watch my stand up. Just stay on your TikTok and just watch my stuff. Post it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You gotta always watch them, and then you gotta subscribe. Like hit the bell and then subscribe. Vishnu Waka Comedy, all three places. That's what you should do. Follow me, follow my comedy, and watch my podcast. Collect your UBI and teach your kids. And figure out what your kids are good at. That's the most important part. Like I told my older kid is like, he's just started high school, and he was like, Dad, with your comedy career and the way things are going, I don't see much hope for my college money. And I'm like, son, I gave you my jeans. You should be happy. Go wear your jeans that I gave you and go study your sit your ass down and study and get yourself a scholarship. Or I have a friend who's a mechanic. I'm going to take him there, and when he's 16, I'm like, can he work for you? Or I'm like, dude, just like, don't even worry about that. Okay, this is what I told my kid actually. I told him his goal by the time he's done with high school is to figure out what it is that he likes to do. Like, don't worry about how much money you can make or if there is a future in that profession or not. Just figure out what it is that makes you happy and figure out how to do that for a living. And then we'll pursue that. I think if you're good at something, competition doesn't bother you. Like I know I'm good at comedy. And when I started comedy, I read Kevin Hart's book, and Kevin Hart literally tells you how hard it is, and how hard everybody who does comedy knows how hard it is to make it. But when you know you're good at it, your sixth sense tells you, like, don't worry about the competition. You are your own competition. Like for me, I am my own competition. Like I know I was at the peak of my game in 2023, and my game dropped 24, 25. But I'm going to come back 2026 because I realized my mistake. Brownbird says that's true. The faster you figure out what you are good at, the faster you can monetize it. You're right. You're right, bro. Like my generation, like my parents' generation, comes from a trauma. Like we were oppressed. We were oppressed people. So that's why a lot of immigrants, their kids are like, dude, go do some sciences or math, and then you look at American kids and they're like, go to English and do what you like, and we look at them like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you, why are you doing that? Why don't you do engineering? And why are you doing like sociology? I used to think that was funny, but now I get it. They didn't come from the trauma. They're not worried about the future. They are doing things that make them happy, and they do the sociology, and then they become my manager at the engineering. I'll be the IT guy, and he'll be my manager, doing some business, and I'll be reporting to him. So yeah, I think our generation, like our kids, we should let them figure out how to make a living in what they like. Because do you live your life happy, or do you live your life rich? Brown, but I never thought about it like that. Great point. Thanks, bro. I like the validation, because I'm like, this is literally I'm pulling stuff out of my ass. That's not a good visual, but that was a conversation I had with my kid. I'm like, I just want you to figure out what it is that makes you happy to do, and let me know so I can help you navigate. I'm like, that's the perspective I got once I found comedy, because before that I didn't have to worry about money, but I was not happy. Now I have to worry about money, but I'm happy. See? It's the it's it's between happy versus money. But I think we should choose happiness. Liberty, justice, and pursuit of happiness. Remember? Damn, I should be a writer. All right, I'm gonna let. I think I ran this. We wow that wow that's an hour, dude. I'm online for 1 hour, just like ranting away. I hope it is, bro. Was I boring? When's the last time you watched elephants? That usually puts a smile on your face, bro. Okay, now I watch that elephants every time I do that joke because okay, before I used to look at people, right? When I talk about the elephant sex, and I noticed when I was looking at people, I was hoping for them to laugh, but they feel shy and they don't laugh. Because I don't know, for some reason, Americans are weird. They get weird about animals having sex, but they don't get weird when a comedian comes up and talks about dick all day long. You know, or like other stuff like blood and gore, and they all like it. But you talk about two elephants having sex, they're like, oh my God, like he's talking about animals having sex. And that makes me kind of laugh. But when I look at them, they feel very like conscious. So now I'm just looking at the back wall. And I think that made that joke better because now I'm just visualizing the what I saw on Discovery when I first saw it. So I think my bit got much better. Like I haven't posted it yet because I'm just sick of like posting bits online. Everybody like I feel like everybody saw my shit, but yeah, bestiality, half punch mocha. I know people get weird about bestiality. Brown Bart, heading out. Happy New Year, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing you live in Philly. Wishing you bro, thanks for reminding me about Philly. I'm going to reach out to Punchline. I really want to go back there. Hopefully this time I'll sell more tickets. But what was I talking about? Yeah, elephant sex. I visualize it now every time I do the bit. So it gets funnier every time I do it. But when I saw it, I didn't make it up. I literally saw like two elephants do it in Discovery Channel, and the guy was narrating, and he was going like, "Now you see the elephant insert his penis into the elephant's vagina, and now you notice he is not moving back and forth. There is no motion. You want to know why?" And then they cut into an ad. So I gotta sit there and wait for like I think the ads back then were like 3 minutes. I was like, why is he not pumping? Why is he not pumping? And then and then the guy came back and he was like, because elephants have an extra muscle, so they don't have to pump. And I was like, I just bust out laughing. And the first time I got to go on stage, that's what I did. Do you have any shows coming up in California? I was there last. I was there in September, but I want to come back. Well, I'm hitting up a lot of clubs. I am sending a lot of emails. I don't have a manager or a agent. Out there any of good agents? Like if you're a shitty agent, don't hit me up. I don't want to waste my time because I could, with the help of Chat GPT, I can do a better job. But if you're one of those people that could actually help me get booked, so I could just focus on my art, oh yeah, that would be the dream. But anyways, till then, I'm with the help of Chat GPT. Before I would write an email and it sounds so dumb with my English, and I was like, dude, any booker that looks at this email is not going to book me. And I'm sure I sent some dumbass emails. They're just like nonsense because my English sucks when I write it. And you got to do like grammar checks, and I don't have the patience for it. But now I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, can you write me a email to send to this booker? And can you include these things? And it will like compose a nice email for me. All I have to do is cut and paste and put it in my mail and shoot it off. I add some personal touch because I don't want them to think like, oh, I'm hitting them with AI. But other than that, so my email game is getting to on point. That's one thing I'm excited about 2026. It's going to be fun. My Buckeyes lost. That broke my heart. But I'm kind of getting tired of winning all the time, with Buckeyes. So we're like, you know what? Let these fools figure it out this time. We'll take a break because kick everybody's ass, and you're like, you know what? We're undefeated until Indiana beat us. And then once you lost, you're like, yeah. But at least I'm happy the loss is not in 2026. Okay, Buckeyes lost in 2025 for the record. So 2026 is fresh. We have no losses this year, and we're not going to have any losses. Okay, right there, my Buckeyes. Buckeye parking right there. And there's a taxi, New York taxi parked in Buckeye parking lot. And thank you for being part of my podcast, guys. My live. Um, Welcome to Vishnu. Okay, I know I call it the Great American Podcast, but I'm also debating if I should change the name to. I'm going to make it like Late Night with Vishnu Waka. I don't know. For now, it's like Vishnu Waka, the Great American. Why not, right? Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Ball. Thank you, Mr. Fleetwood. Thank you, Newer Dukas. Sajin Salim. Thank you, Ernest Preciado Rodriguez. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Whipple wins. Thank you for joining my live podcast. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to head out now, and I'm going to uh, cut this up and post it soon. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for being part of my first podcast 2026. Your great American Vishnu Waka signing off. All right, let me get out.